presentation. Before we go any further, I'd like to introduce the true stars of our show, our 4 male Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. So starting over here on the far left-hand side of the stage, this is our oldest male, 23-year-old Sebastian. Now sitting right next to him is the teenager of the group. This is 15-year-old Cosmo. Now making our way to the far right-hand side of the stage, this is our 7-year-old Chopper.
Oh, he's so cute.
And last but certainly not least is the youngest male. This is 6-year-old Zeke. Now first we'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out today and giving us the opportunity to share our family with yours. Our hopes is that you'll learn more about the many skills and adaptations that these marine mammals have, but also when you go back to your friends, families, and communities, you'll help us spread the word about the many dangers that marine mammals face in their underwater environment every single day. But if you are listening closely, you did just hear me say that dolphins are mammals. However, it's not uncommon for people to feed with their fish since they do spend their entire lives in the water. But since they are mammals, just like you and I, let's go over all those characteristics that we share. Starting with the fact that we do give live birth. Now, mothers out in the audience aren't going to be too jealous when I say that a dolphin calf is born after a year-long gestation period. These dolphin calves will weigh in at about 30 pounds. They can even be up to 3 feet in length. It looks like our boys are rolling over to show you that since dolphins do give live birth, just like you and I, they also have belly buttons.
Look at belly button.
Now this next characteristic does go hand in hand with live birth, and it's that we do nurse our young. Now dolphin calves will nurse their mothers for about 1 to 3 years of their life. Now they'll do this by rolling their tongue up into a straw and sealing it onto their mother's mammary. They make sure they're ingesting all of that nutritious milk and none of the surrounding salt water. Now this next characteristic, dolphins feel a little bit differently than we do. They of course do feed from lunch like we do, but they actually use those blowholes located right on the top of their heads. Now it's situated there so you can come up and take a quick breath at the surface of the water before diving back down into water where they can hold that breath for up to 7.5 minutes. Now this exchange of air is so quick that it only takes about a fraction of a second. We're going to turn it over to our boys so they can show off just how from the dolphins are coming from their mouths or their vocal cords. However, dolphins don't have vocal cords, and all of those noises are coming right from that same blowhole that they breathe their air from. Now, I do believe our boys put together a beautiful song for you all. So again, I invite everyone to listen in. Excellent harmony from our boys down here. Now this next characteristic may seem a little odd, but what other mammals do we have on the top of our heads?
Oh, look them.
Hair! You're absolutely correct. So I'm actually looking down here and thinking, well, wait a minute, Allison, I don't see a single hairy dolphin. Now you would be absolutely correct as of right now. However, when dolphins are born, they do actually have hair in the form of whiskers located right on that bottlenose beak or rostrum. Now we believe they have these whiskers, they can locate their mother's mammary right when they're starting to nurse, and then a couple days after birth, those hairs will simply just fall right out. Now we have the incentive and vital characteristics that we do share as mammals, and that's we are all warm-blooded. Now warm-blooded just means that we do have a constant body temperature, and that we don't use the surrounding environment to regulate that temperature. Now dolphins do have a core body temperature roughly about the same as ours, which is a mid to upper 90s. However, they do have a really unique adaptation, this is known as a blubber layer. They can develop right underneath their skin to keep them nice and warm in those cooler winter waters.
Look them.
blubber layer for us. Now we got over all the characteristics that we share as mammals. We're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about all those unique adaptations that they have that makes them so well suitable for their underwater world. Mainly, I'm talking about all those fins and flippers. With the badges all of those fins and flippers, remember that was a pretty quick look. So we're going to break down those fins and flippers into a little more detail. Starting with that dorsal fin located right on their back. This dorsal fin is made out of the disconnective tissue, much like the cartilage that we have in our own ears and nose. This is what helps to stabilize and balance the dolphin through the water, much like what a keel on a boat does. These are also unique to each dolphin, so no two dolphins have the same dorsal fin, just like no two humans have the same set of fingerprints. So we challenge you later on throughout the day when you're looking at our boys from the underwater viewing area to see if you can tell who's who just by those dorsal fins alone.
Yeah.
Now moving on to the side of the dolphin, so the pectoral flippers. Now this time I did say flippers and not fins because flippers do have bones. And if you want to x-ray these flippers, you actually see a bone structure in them, much like what we have in our own human hands and feet. Now these are perfect for waving in hello to our audience, even giving our trainers here some high fives and handshakes. But it also makes the dolphins so well known for almost lightning quick stops and sudden turns. Now moving all the way down to the end of the dolphin, those tail fins or flukes. That's right, it is a fluke plural because there are two of them connected right in the center of what's called the median knot. Looks like our boys are showing it all the big dolphin style wave. Hello. Now located right above the flukes to the reach of the dolphin known as the peduncle. What we call the powerhouse of dolphins. Now it's so powerful that it'll move the dolphin through the water at speeds of up to 22 miles per hour.
Temi, yuto situ kan.
Hunting technique known as a tail lock, and they will smack their tail against the surface of the water so hard that it sucks around the fish, and all they have to do is gobble it right up.
Yep.
But it's also with the power of that peduncle that the dolphin can get itself up and out of the water so you can get a better look at all of its surroundings. Well, I'm going to answer a very common question we get every single day here at the Gulfarium. And that's how do you train the dolphins to do all these amazing behaviors you can see throughout the show today? Well, we actually use a technique known as operation conditioning with a focus on positive reinforcement. Really all that means is that we reinforce behaviors we'd like to see again, and then we can simply ignore and move on for behaviors we would not like to see again. We're actually breaking down a behavior for you all so you get an inside look at what a training session looks like. We're going to break down a behavior known as a spinner. This is where the dolphin comes up out of the water in a spinning rotation and continues to spin, going back down into the water tail first. Now this is a pretty complex behavior, so you can't expect our dolphins to know exactly what we're looking for right off the bat. So we break down all of our behaviors into smaller, more achievable steps, and these are just known as successive approximations. So one of the first behaviors that we do to train the dolphins is a behavior known as a target. Now a target is just when we ask them to place their bottom of feet or rocks right into the flat open palm of our hand. Now it's with this target hand that you can move it around and train a lot of different behaviors. For example, we can take that target hand and move it around in a circle for a very fancy dolphin-style hula dance. You can even take that target hand and move it up and down for a head nod, yes? And we can even take that target hand and move it side to side for their favorite answer of a no way. Now it's actually with that hula dance behavior that we started training that spinner right here at the dock. Now you see Zeke is actually going to be the dolphin showing it off for us. So you see that his trainer is holding what looks like a really long Q-tip. This is is just known as a target pull. Now we come to touch that target buoy just like we would with our target hand. Now we utilize the target pull because their arms can only go so far and so high in the habitat, so we can get a little bit more further out into the environment in their habitat by using that target pull. You're going to see that when he comes up, he's going to be aiming for that target buoy. Excellent job from Steve there. We get a big round of applause. Now that was actually the best we've seen from Steve. That was really, really awesome. So he went down exactly what Stephanie was looking for. He came up in that spinning rotation, touched that buoy, and continued spinning as he was going back down into the water. Now you might have heard Stephanie blow her whistle. And that's just letting Steve know that that's exactly what I was looking for. Come back to the dock and get some reinforcement. Now reinforcement could of course be their fish, but other things they really enjoy as well, such as ice, sugarless flavorless jello, or even a really nice golfing style back massage. Now we're going to be moving on to some action that actually is learning his behavior as well.